Hey y'all, Jamie, that's me here. Welcome back to the channel. Listen, we have to chat real quick about the Traitors finale as well as the reunion. Now, understand, honey, my notes aren't that thick. I do not, to me, okay? I don't feel like I have a lot of notes, but we may be able to stretch this thing out because the notes are not that detailed. Like, I really was over this season by last week, in all honesty, okay? Getting to the finale, then we get to the reunion, and the reunion just was not even hitting like that for me. So I'm just over it, and I'm so glad this season is absolutely over, all right? But we're gonna go ahead and talk about it. First of all, finale, everybody's dumb. Everybody's stupid. Maura had the biggest egg on her damn face, and girl, that is exactly what you get. Okay, so first of all, Tara and Johnny finally began to use their brains and stand on business, but it was too late. It was too late. You know, Tara, if you would have stayed strong, held it down with what's her name, Natalie, on the previous week, maybe we would be in a better position today. Okay, maybe, just maybe, but I just don't understand what it was about Rob that had you guys so hooked and sold on this man. And it's no shade, but Rob ain't even much giving all of that. Okay, he's not even giving Zach Morris back in the day. He's not even giving Slater back in the day. Like, what is crazy? Like, I don't understand, but you know, that's for y'all. I mean, okay. I mean, he's not bad looking, but he wasn't like someone, in my opinion, that you would get that damn lost into, that you just don't even see that they're a traitor. Like, it's absolutely ridiculous. But either way, Tara and Johnny begin to use their brains at a later time. Now, Maura, I want you to understand that you deserved everything. Yes, you did, girl. Girl, you deserved everything that you got. You were willing to be a puppet and a dummy for Rob. So therefore, you got robbed. All right. I don't, I feel no ways. I feel no, and you know, I'm glad Rob took home all of the money. I'm very glad that he took it home. I wanted him to get sniffed out much, much sooner. But if you could get past these people, hey, you got to use what you got to get what you want. And that man used his looks, okay, and anything else that he could use to get what it is that he wanted. Did y'all see him in the helicopter with Maura? And they're sitting up there in the helicopter, and then at some point he's sitting on the right side of her or whatever. Then he's on the left side. Then at one point he got his arm around her like they on a date. I was just like, okay, what is all of this, honey? I feel like Rob knew that she had a crush on him in some type of, you know, capacity. And so he was leaning into that just to make sure that she goes in the direction that he needed her to go. When I tell you, Rob knew y'all to a T, and Rob played y'all to a T to get exactly what it is that he wanted. It was crazy, y'all. Eric thought he and Rob was gonna take it home, and I thought that was so hilarious. When they got to that table and they decided to go ahead and banish, I believe it was Tara. And then the next thing was, oh, do we want to banish again, or we want it to be all said and done? And of course, he said, yeah, let's let it be over at this point. I guess he figured he was gonna split the money with Rob, and Rob said, when Maura casted that vote to say, hey, let's banish one more time, let's get somebody else up out of here, Rob said, listen, I made a pinky promise and I'm gonna keep it. It was hilarious because, again, Maura thought she had a friend. Maura thought she had a friend because she saw Rob keeping his promise or whatever. She really thought that she had it. That's crazy. And let me tell you what's even more crazier to me. It's the fact that once, you know, they were going around the table giving the names out, she really felt like Eric was a traitor. Well, guess what? Eric pulled the same move that Candiace pulled, which was saying, hey, I have to say that it's Rob. Maura, I don't believe that it's you, but if I had to choose a traitor, then Rob is you. This is another person telling you that it's Rob, right? Granted, there's nothing she could do about it at this point, but other people have told you that it's Rob. Maura has come to you. Natalie has come to you, right? And my thing that I just want to highlight is, even after Eric tells you that I believe it's Rob, since you believe he's the traitor, you still were shocked in the very end. You thought they was just saying that for their health? Oh, you thought they was just saying it to save your feelings? What were you thinking, love? What were you thinking? Child, ain't that something? Either way, it is what it is. Get down to the wire. Maura learns, you know, after she says, I'm a faithful. It's his turn. I'm a traitor. And I think she was up there like this, y'all. I think she was up there with her little heart. Up there with her little heart or whatever. And he's like, yeah, nah, I'm a traitor. And she like, huh, what the fuck? Oh my God, whole world crashing down. Now she want to say, oh, Rob, you're never going to have a girlfriend. Girl, please. Okay? A whole mess. It was very embarrassing. What I can't appreciate is Maura getting to this reunion and admitting how stupid she felt, how embarrassed she was. You should be. You should be. And I feel like she probably felt stupid because of how she played the game. Yes. And he saved her all of this time, her not willing to listen to anybody. But when she talks about the embarrassment, for me, it makes me feel like, yeah, because you had a crush on that man. You was really liking that man. That's why you're embarrassed. You're embarrassed that you let your guard down around a man that you likely was crushing on, and he played you in the end. That's where the embarrassment comes from. So, yeah. Either way, we're at the reunion, and Rob thinks that he pretty much just got lucky, and Candiace is like, well, I think it was a little bit of smart and luck. I think you had some smarts in you, and I think you had some luck in you. Although a lot of people want to take away credit from Rob because they don't like how he played the game. At the end of the day, and I'll say it again, I do not care. Rob played a good game, and that game worked best for him with this cast, okay? Now, anybody saying that he was better than season 1 winner, you tripping, okay? You are tripping. All right. I feel like number one, she laid the foundation for that to be the first US version, and she do her thing. And Miss Man won. I think her name is Siri. I feel like I say her name wrong, so I don't be liking to say it, but it's Siri. And correct me in the comments. I know y'all gonna do that anyway, because it's just how y'all is. But she played a great game, and she was real low key with hers. And I don't think anybody ever mentioned her name, right? I don't think she had a traitor or anybody flip on her, unlike Rob. Now, I would not say that he did it better than her. Okay? She ran and walked or whatever so that Rob could fly a little piece. And at the end of the day, Rob did decent for his game. Period. I'm not going to take that away from him, okay? Regardless of how he did my girl Candiace, how he moved throughout the doggone show, all of that, okay? Not going to blame him. He played y'all. He played on y'all emotions and y'all desires of him, and he won. So shout out to him for that, like it or not. Either way, Rob talks about how he got to buy Maura a Birkin, and which cost about 10 racks, at least on the minimum list. I mean, that's all she would get from me is the bare minimum, which is 10,000. Okay. So I mean, unless you find a used one, maybe I don't know. I don't know how they weigh that out. I don't know how they weigh that out. But yeah, she would get the minimum for sure. Okay, but Rob thinks that it was massive of his game when he let Candiace sit up there and murder Colton. And she says that there was a question about him helping you a bit, meaning Colton helping Rob a bit, right? But when it served you to get rid of him, you did. You did that. And it made you look good, and it was what it was. And Rob said, is that a question? She says it's a declarative statement. It's a declarative statement that requires an answer. When I tell y'all I love Candiace, keeps like, is that a question? It's a declarative statement. And yes, it requires an answer. So you need to answer that. You need to confirm or deny. Because I'm going to get in your ass a little bit more later. Okay. I just want to see what you're finna say about this little piece here. And of course, he agreed with her. Like, yeah, duh. Like, it works for my game, I was going to do whatever worked for my game at the end of the day. So Rob says that he felt like the ship was sinking when it comes to the Traitors. The ship was not sinking, Rob. You sunk the ship, baby. When people started to mention Lisa's name, you could have not derailed it from Lisa by saying, no, I don't think it's Lisa. But what you could have done, in my opinion, was say, okay, I hear you. That's possible. I also was thinking that you didn't really throw another name out there or give them a different direction to go on, knowing how much these people listen to you, which is part of the reason why you connected with Colton, because they were also listening to Colton. Okay, either way, because he was the king of the faithfuls, is what it seemed like. Either way, until he passed it down to the prince child, the prince being Rob, right? So Rob says that he felt like they would have turned on him before he turned on them. Not that soon in the game. Y'all were all having fun and enjoying killing people at that time. Y'all was having a good time. You didn't have to do that so soon. You just started to have these ideas maybe after Lisa's name came up. You probably started thinking, well, Okay, her name's coming up. You know what? I should really just let this happen. And since nobody's really seeing that I'm a traitor so far, maybe I could get her kicked out. If I get her kicked out, lay low, then at some point I could get Candiace kicked out, and then, yada yada. I think that's when your wheels got to turning for your plan, right? He says that he needed to be on the right side of history at the end of the day. Okay. And it looks like it worked out for him, right? It is what it is, Thomas. I felt like y'all was gonna end up turning on me before I turned on y'all. So he had to go ahead to be the first one to turn on them. Just crazy. The ship was sinking. It's like, Rob, you just contradicting yourself. First the ship was sinking. Now you like, oh, I thought they was gonna turn on me. Like, come on now. Either way. So Candiace says that it looks like, Rob was feeding information to Colton. He's like, that's crazy. No, it's not. It's not crazy at all. Right? So she says that she was given info by Colton that she loved for them to address. Now, before she says this, Rob is saying something like, there's really, I think that's what he said, and maybe he said it later on, but he was like, there's really strict rules about this. We can, yes, there are. But the fact that y'all even needed to communicate with each other with your eyes, with a full understanding that everybody in the house know how close y'all are and y'all are best friends, why would you really need to communicate with each other with your facial expressions and your eyes? That's very, very weird. That you don't have to do that. If you're in the castle, everybody knows what you know. You're going to tell this person, and what this person is on, you're likely going to be on the same mindset. So I'm like, what was the need to communicate with your eyes and stuff? That's weird. Yeah. And ain't nobody changing that. I wouldn't be surprised if he did tell Colton that. And if I win the show, I'm going to give you a little piece of something probably. Or I'll buy you a Birkin. Hello. That's why Colton wanted his boo to win. Anyway, child. So she says that she heard something. Hold on. What? Let me see. Hold on. Yes, Candiace says that he shared something with her that fired up her grits. Okay. And that's something she wants to address when Colton comes out, baby. Okay, we're going to get into it. I think that's when Candiace said, we got not Candiace, but Porsha was like, we got a reunion now, okay? Now, Candiace and Lisa was on Rob's arse in my personal, okay? In his actions leading up, leading the charge on getting Lisa the hell up out of there, right? And Rob just did a lot of double talking to me. It was a bit confusing, okay? He was like, yeah, I 100% did that. But then at the same time, he was just acting like, I wasn't going to go after you, Candiace. I wasn't going to go after neither one of y'all. But then it's like, yeah, I did that. Like, what is it, okay? So it seems like they just wanted him to take ownership. And I was with them. Like, just own it. Like, because you're saying two different things. And it's not making sense. I wasn't going to go after you, Candiace. Candiace, I wasn't going to go after you until you jumped on Lisa's bandwagon, this and that. Why would I not jump on a Traitors bandwagon? We're supposed to be traitors, sir. Make it make sense. I wasn't going to go after you. And then at some point in the reunion, he tells her, I never trusted you. Whew, not you never trusted her, but you also wasn't planning on ever going after her in the beginning. Like, Rob, just say, that was my plan. Like, I feel like a lot of them would respect it more if you just said, like, listen, that was the plan. I came in there, I started thinking about it. This is how I wanted it to go. And I followed through with that and I won. Okay? So Candiace is telling him, like, whatever he's talking about is giving poppycock because he never gave her the opportunity to have whatever conversations that he should have had, because that's where he was trying to moonwalk out of that too. Like, I never was going to come after you, this, that, and the other. We didn't talk. It wasn't until you did this or that. But not once did he come to her and have conversations with her about, like, hey, just to let you know, I'm only going for Lisa because they're going for Lisa. Like, I got your back. We're in this together. You never did that. So he definitely was planning to come for Candiace. It was what it was, especially for him to follow it up and say that he never trusted her to begin with. Ooh, child. Anyway, so I did see on threads that people were saying, I like Candiace a lot, but, watching this reunion, she's really coming off as a sore loser, this and that. And I disagree. I don't feel like Candiace was coming off as a sore loser at all. I feel like, one, she was holding people accountable. That's number one. But even before number one, what she's doing is giving y'all a reunion, just like what Porsha said. Oh, now we got a reunion, right? The entire season when she and Lisa were on it, it was giving fireworks. After they left, it started to kind of go downhill. So being a housewife, knowing how this goes, to constantly have these reunions and stuff, and knowing what the fans are looking for, what the fans would like to have addressed, all of that, like, she giving y'all a show, she giving y'all a reunion. That's what she was doing. The fans would really be upset if she went up there and she did not say anything to Rob or did not say anything to Colton, because Andy's not going to always do it. All right. So I don't think she was giving sore loser at all. Okay. It was what it was. Maura comes out. That's when she talks about being embarrassed and all of that. She says, although she met Rob once, she felt like she could trust him because of Love Island USA. Now, I'll give her a little bit of that, but not completely. I'll give her that coming into the door, not really knowing anybody. Okay, we're bonded because of Love Island USA. Housewives are bonded because of housewives. Gamers are bonded because of gamers. Okay, so cool. Yeah, we could be bonded like that too. And it just so happens that you're attractive. I think that you're cute, whatever, whoop de whoop. But when people start throwing his name out, that's when you should have started listening. But baby, she held that pack to the end, didn't she? So Andy, it was real weird because Andy was up there trying to play matchmaker with Maura. Now remember, Maura had just told Rob, like, you're never gonna get a girlfriend based on this. Like, you're not trustworthy. Right? Maura still wants her Birkin. She said, well, get my Birkin, then maybe we could talk. Okay? Give me my Birkin first, then maybe we could talk about what happens with us next. Child, Tiffany was in the back like, girl, fuck a Birkin. Porsha said, child. What Porsha said, Porsha was like, he won't even buy a shirt. I said, I know that's right. And you know what I started thinking? As I was looking at Rob's shirt, I saw the white shirt had like a little icon or something like that on the side that mimicked Lisa Rinna. So I said, did Rob come up to this reunion with no damn shirt on and Lisa Rinna just happened to have something in the back that he could wear and he threw it on up under that suit, and that's why Porsha said that he won't even buy a shirt? Okay. So Mara says that she's single, but Rob had to whack her ass again and let her know, like, yeah, I have a girlfriend. I had a girlfriend for the past few months. Like, yeah, I'm taking. Yeah. So not only did I take your money, okay, I'm taking as well. Child, you better hope he don't get that Birkin to that other girl, because Robin, not Robin, but Rob already showed himself to not be trustworthy. So you better hope that Birkin don't go to that new girl that he with. Okay. So Johnny and Tara joined from the Olympics, and Tara says that she felt like her and Johnny practiced and planned and were ready for the final moment. Girl lies. This is what she said. She tried to relate her experience to Traitors to being in the Olympics. Like, oh, we practiced and we planned all season. So by the time we got to the end, we're ready for the final moment. No, you weren't, because there were so many times that you could have said it with your chest, Tara, and you didn't. You too, Johnny, Mr. We just need this many more people to vote with us. We need this many more people. And then you get down to the damn round table and sometimes you say something completely different. So were y'all really practicing and planning? Because I feel like part of that means that you have to stand on business, and a few times throughout the season you all did not. Okay, so Maura over there still feeling like a dummy. I'm hollering because she should. Okay, Colton comes out, says that he feels betrayed by Rob a little, but it was a game-winning move in his opinion, right? Because he wanted Rob to win overall. All right, Candiace says Rob told Colton that she was a traitor. Rob pretty much says, are you saying that I told Colton that I'm a traitor? That's not what she said. What she said was, you told Rob that she was a traitor. You also confirmed, in my opinion, that Lisa Rinna likely was one. And I wholeheartedly believe that you did. I wish you would have told him, said, yeah, I do believe that you did that. Yeah, because that's what I think he tried to say. There are strict rules and all this and that. It's like, I believe that you told him that. Because let me tell you something. Y'all sit up here and say, oh, there are strict rules. There are strict rules. There are strict rules when it comes to this show, and nobody should know that you're a traitor. But let me tell y'all something. Had Lisa Rinna ass sat up there and made a deal with Colton, because Colton said he wanted to try something new. Colton said he wanted to try something new on the show and pull a move that nobody has pulled, right? Where a faithful starts working hand in hand with a traitor knowingly, right? If Lisa would have went with that, do you think they would have cut the cameras? Dead ass? No, they would not have. They would have kept them hoes rolling. Do you think Colton, who they pacified in this damn reunion, would have been kicked off the show? And the Lisa fucking Rinna? Absolutely the fuck not. They would have moved forward regardless of what them damn contracts said, because you're not supposed to expose to anybody that you're a damn traitor. But he went to her confidently, knowing she was a traitor, and I need you to work with me to get to the end. Whoop, 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 knowing and understanding that a faithful and a traitor cannot win in the end. Okay? So that's very, very interesting. So how much do y'all really stick to the damn rules? Because if that's the case, why would Colton even approach her on some shit like that? You know why he did? Because he probably got encouraged by one of the producers. He probably said, I really feel confident that it's Lisa. Okay, you feel like it's Lisa, why don't you approach her then? Because the producer knew about that too. The producer knew how good it was gonna look. So don't tell me shit about, it's strict rules and they could never do that. Well, then why would they even film that? It's so much shit that they film that they do not show us. So why even show us that? Right? And they used it as a build-up moment as if Lisa was gonna go for it. And we weren't sure, like, is she gonna go for it? Is she not gonna go for it? Like, what's gonna happen? And she just was like, huh? No, I'm not. What are you talking about? Da-da-da. So she didn't go for it. But if she would have gone for it, y'all really thought they was gonna cut them cameras off? You really thought those two individuals was gonna get kicked off the show? Come on now. No. So with that being said, Rob and Colton communicating, if he could go to Lisa directly on some like that, I guarantee you Rob did communicate with him. And it's this funny thing that Rob does with his face and his ass, because that's who he is. And we've been seeing it if you've been watching Love Island like I have since he was on the show. It's like, Rob has this little weird smirk about him that's like, yeah, he lying. He'll do this like this little weird smirk where he tries to hide it, and it's like, yeah, he lying. He lying, girl. Rob lying. So that also confirmed for me that Colton already knew. On top of that, the breakdown I just gave y'all with the Lisa, Rinna, and Colton, on top of how he responded to the situation, on top of when Colton asked, and the facial expressions, of course, on top of when Colton found out that Rob was a traitor, his mind was not blown away at all like all the other people that learned that Rob was a traitor. Oh, okay then. But y'all stick with y'all theories. I'm damn sure gonna stick with mine. Hello, girl. Anyway, so Rob asked, why would he risk that? I don't know. Why would you? Shit, why would Colton risk that? Why would y'all risk that? Why would you? Okay, Colton says they were working together and they bounced names off of each other. So that was Colton's type of excuse. Like, he was trying to make it seem like, whatever we were doing was just regular gameplay. But again, I also don't expect them to admit that either. Because from what it looks like, Rob hasn't gotten that money yet. Yes, he has won, but I'm sure they've held that money over his head until he filmed this damn reunion. So Rob hasn't gotten that money yet. So I don't see him coming out and admitting wholeheartedly, like, yeah, I did that. Yep, girl, you caught me. Oops. May come out at a later time or never. But I'm sticking with that theory, period. So he told him that, this is what Colton says that Rob told him. He says, well, we talked about it, and he said, we're going to get Lisa, Rinna out first, and then next Candiace. And Rob was like, nah, I don't think I said that. I don't believe I said that. I think that you would have said that. And then Colton was like, no, that's what it was or whatever. But again, still trying to downplay what Rob said when y'all just sat up here and exposed yourself. Let me tell you why I believe what Colton said in that moment. Because the way Colton said it and it rolled off his lips was the exact thing that Rob did to Maura when he wanted to get Johnny and Tara out. He went to her and he was like, so we need to get Johnny and Tara out. We need to get Johnny out, and then we need to go for Tara. And at one point, only one point in the finale, did not Tara, but did Maura look like she kind of they were at, like, I guess, I think they were either at the pool table or somewhere where the bar was, whatever it was. She kind of looked at him like, like, why you say it like that? You know what I'm saying? Like, it was like a second guess, like, why he got to say it like, this is what we're going for. We're going to do this and then we're going to do that. Like, his tone changed with her. I even noticed that. And it alerted her, but she didn't give a damn. She didn't care. She wanted to stick to her promise, thinking that her and Rob was going to split some money, baby. I was so glad she got played in the end. Either way, Colton says that he didn't know he was a traitor. We don't care. We don't believe you. You need more people. Colton does confirm that they did do some eye contact. They had a lot of eye communication versus verbal communication. Thank you for admitting that. But you was also up there stuttering and trying to explain. That's what was going on. Ta-da! Gotta make you disappear. Okay, either way. So he was asked about his proposition to Lisa. It says he wanted to be recruited ultimately. But it's like, why would you want to be recruited though? I think he was saying I guess he was trying to say that if people think that I'm a traitor, maybe if I'm recruited, I have a better chance of getting them murdered versus me being the one that ends up murdered. So he wanted to be recruited. But how could you get recruited unless somebody else got banished? And y'all done been doing a lot of damn banishments that have not been traitors. So how would that happen? I could have sworn the man told them from the beginning that there were 3 traitors and a secret traitor. I could have sworn, and maybe not. I'm thinking that they knew this from the beginning that there were 4. So I don't know. That sound like poppycock. Shout out to Candiace. It's giving poppycock. Okay. Either way, Lisa was asked why she didn't bring that up, bring up the fact that he was propositioning her, at the event. At the round table. And she said she was afraid she was gonna mess it up. She was afraid it was gonna flip and it was gonna, be about her. So are you a traitor? This or that? And I'm like, not really, Lisa. The way Candiace was in there having your back, like, I think she would have helped you out with that. I don't know why you didn't say anything. Okay. Lisa asked him about him wanting to take her hostage, right? And he just felt like he was saying something like gameplay. And I guess, but I don't recall traitors taking anybody hostage. But okay, so he says he didn't want to banish her, but he wanted to pretty much hang over her head that, she was a traitor and he could expose her or something like that. But either way, she said the word hostage was interesting. And he just felt like, you said you wanted to slit my throat. So you don't think that's interesting? And that lady said, I don't give a damn what I said to you. I can say what I want, when I want, and how I want. I said, ooh. Is this the point when Colton walked the hell off the stage because he couldn't handle what Lisa was saying, baby? Because y'all didn't show that walk off, right? Now, Lisa talks about, being murdered. I'm sorry, banished. And she says something like, if I could at least make 7 episodes, then I am good. So now I wonder, were you interested in making the 7 episodes to say you lasted a good amount in the season, or were you trying to make the 7 episodes for money purposes? So then it made me question, how much do these people really get paid per episode? Yes, Rob did win like $200,000, but then my question is, how much y'all get paid a day to be on set? Like, did some of y'all get paid like 20 racks a day just to be there? Did some of y'all get paid more than that? Because I do feel like Bravo pays the people more than like Love and Hip Hop, of course. So it's that VH1, MTV. I feel like they pay more. So how much y'all get paid per episode? So did some of y'all make over $100,000 just to go over there and film this? Or not? I just really wonder, because I just feel like some of these celebrities, like a Porsha, and maybe Porsha would, Porsha, Candiace, especially Elisa Rinna, in my head, right? To me, I'm like, some of these people not coming outside for no little something, for like no little $10,000. Now they might, I don't know their finances. They might come out and let me just get this little piece of 10 racks. But how much did y'all really get paid? Or did y'all get paid 10 racks a day? So I'm going to be here for like 4 days. If I could be here for 4 days or at least 5, that's a quick 50 racks for me. Boom, I made my money. Let me head on back. And that 50 racks, based on how my bills are, that may stretch out for a few months. Like, I don't know. But I do wonder, right? And if there really is a reason to even trip on Rob, because Rob could have made, let's say Rob made, because he was there for a majority of the episode, he already made $100,000 just off of being there. So now he's about to get an extra $200,000. Like, I don't know. I just wonder what the people. I'm in y'all business now. I am. What y'all contracts look like? What y'all be getting paid today just to be over there? Okay. What y'all get paid based on y'all celebrity and how long y'all been in the business? And I'm willing to believe that Lisa Rinna about got paid the most, because I feel like Lisa been on TV for a very long periodical time. So that him winning that little $200,000 may not be shit to Lisa. So how much was you really charging that you just wanted to make 7 episodes? Child, let's keep going. So then the faithfuls, right? They were asked about not listening to Candiace. And then that's when Mark says, listen, that was my biggest regret in this game. I wish we would have listened to her. And it seemed like it was a bit of a struggle for him to get out, because he was trying to, he said he wished he would have did that. That's his biggest regret. But then he tried to excuse it a bit by saying, well, this is why we thought that this, that, and the other. And then Natalie just came out and was like, baby, look, at the end of the day, bitch, we ain't listening. We should have did that. Like, period. Like, okay, all that hoopah. Like, we should have listened to the girl, period. Okay, we were stupid. So Porsha comes out, right? And a few other people. And I feel like Porsha was trying to have a moment so bad in my personal. Talking about how Lisa Rinna, voted for her. And you gave me your beauty stuff a long time ago. And I took everything and smashed it. I put it in this Ziploc bag. Okay, Lisa said, okay, that's fine. It don't matter, baby. The business is gone out of business. Girl, I fell out. I said, come on, Lisa. Not Porsha came out there trying to gag the Lisa fucking Rinna and then got gagged. Girl, you shut the hell up. Too funny. So Porsha crowned herself Queen of the Faithfuls and everybody else looking around like, what? Andy said, ooh, who said that? Who said that? Okay, I'm trying to make sure the Faithfuls was on board. Well, y'all should have been on board the way y'all was over there treating Ron ass upset with Ron because Porsha got eliminated. It was given that she was the queen of the damn Faithfuls. And the way y'all ran up under Colton and sniffed his ass, he was the king of the Faithfuls. And then when he got out, y'all ran up behind Rob. And he was the prince of the Faithfuls. They're not wrong. Let's keep going. At some point, Porsha and Michael get into it. Y'all, I'm not gonna lie. I was like tapping out of Porsha. One, I will say, Donna was over there getting her life, and she was over there howling, baby. You could tell she just had her arm up. She was covering her mouth. She was laughing so hard at Michael Rapaport. Him and Porsha getting into it, but what was annoying me and made me be like, I don't even care. Let's move on, please, was Porsha's voice. It changed. It's like, Porsha, are you changing your voice because you're in a room with more white people? You know, that you need to be like, like your voice went up higher than what it needed to in that moment. And it's like, Porsha, ain't nothing wrong with your regular voice. You know, like, I don't know. It was just really off. Like, I can't explain. Y'all know what I'm saying. I can't explain it, but I don't think I'm explaining it well. But I just noticed the difference in her tone. And I was just like, it was like she was trying to talk like a little kid a bit, not even a baby. It wasn't even giving baby. It was like a little kid. It was just like, Porsha, come on, girl. Either way, Michael told her, girl, when I'm talking, you're not talking. Clip. Rob C done turned around and called Jam a pick me traitor. Girl, I'm on the floor. I am on the floor. I said, not a pick me traitor, honey. Crazy. Michael apologizes to Colton. They had a FaceTime call. It was what it was. Everything was cool. Tiffany talked a little bit about how she felt with the gamers leaving. I don't think they really got into detail about her being eliminated, banished. We got into Ron just a little bit. Ron being how, I guess he was treated in there a little bit. And I believe it was Monét that said, at some point we wanted to make a connection with you, but at the same time, you didn't want to make a connection with us. So it was like difficult to figure this out. And Ron was just like, well, listen, I was open in the beginning, but then I felt isolated. So then it's like, what's the point? Like, basically, Ron is saying y'all did not really show a natural interest in me. So I feel like the odd man out. So yeah, at this point, no, I don't want to get to know y'all. At this point, I want to pick you niggas off left and right. That's just what's going on. Maura ends up winning an award for like the best outfit that she had on. I guess throughout the season, I really liked her reunion outfit. I thought she looked really, really, really cute. Like that. I like the little outfit that Porsha had on. I liked a little bit of Candiace's outfit. I did not like the bottom part. I hate when there's like a dress and there are two slits in the front. I cannot stand that. I hate when people wear jumpsuits and then they have two slits in the front. It's just like, what's the point? But I did like how it sat. When she sat, I loved how it sat. I said, go ahead, ma'am. I think I like Lisa Rinna's too. And that was it. I like Monét as well. I think Monét looked good. And that was really it. That was it. That's the season. That's all I got for you guys. Y'all can continue the conversation down below about Traitors and all of that. I'm JamiThatsMe. Be sure to like up the video. Thanks for being here, subscribing, watching, coming over to Patreon, watching the show with me. Thank you guys for all of that. All right. We have wrapped up this season and I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye.
Tell them I preach to the choir. Stand on my feet to the fire. Give all the glory to God. Stand in the midst of these haters, I'm silent, nobody can stop me. Just gotta check in my notification, them numbers hit like it's a proxy. Cashed out at the ATM, and the ATL, they done made a gym. I've been kicking doors like the ATF, got them trying to clone me like Aegis. Game time, I invaded gym, high elevated, I could face the rim. Putting shots up, I got laser focus, about to take it over, I'm Invader Zim. On a trip to Florida like it's A&M. Who that nigga, man, they say I'm him. Spit the truth, never wasted film, I can feel the pool